Yo! Welcome back to another edition of the Cruising Podcast. I'm your host, Andrew Cruz, and today is Monday, July 18th. Damn, it's been 2 weeks since my birthday. Goodness gracious. Yo, time is fucking flying. I need to stop. I know YouTube. I understand the algorithm is going to start moving towards somewhere else if I start. My bad. All right, whatever. But where you can find the Cruise Podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Patreon, and anywhere else you can find your podcast needs. You can find the Cruising Podcast. Also, you can find latest updates of the show is on Instagram at Cruising Podcast, also on Twitter at Nicetown Finest. Nicetown Finest. Okay, so with that, I wanted to talk about my weekend at Comicpalooza. Hey, listen, it seems like every year it got bigger and bigger. Before the pandemic or anything else, the convention was a lot bigger. What was starting to trend towards being like San Diego Comic Con type deal. In my opinion, this year it was still big. They had a whole entire car show this time. Felt like it took up a lot of space where they would normally like would have utilized it, but the car show was fucking amazing. Like the cars were amazing. Everything, like, wow. They did an amazing job this year. I think that what was kind of missing though is that they had a whole esports arena set up. Like they had a whole like ESPN was there. I remember Houston Outlaws, like for the Overwatch League, they used to have their like little team thing going on on the second floor every year. And it seemed like it was like that's the only thing that was missing this year to me was was because it was cool. That was you went they had retro games. You can go and play N64, like old Genesis, Dreamcast, like they had a whole area for that. And it just seems like this year it was just I don't know. Like and also they had a lot of celebrity guests um canceled and literally almost at the last minute it seems like. Yeah, think about it, they had sorry, they were supposed to have Anthony Starr. Yeah, your headlining stars were Anthony Starr, Lance Riddick, Alice Cooper, um, Terry Crews, and I think that was it, pretty much. Like for like people that majorly everyone knows, especially from media and everything. And I got to, and when that all, most of those people canceled, except for Terry Crews and Alice Cooper, it seemed like it was still a good weekend, but it used to be, a lot. It was cool. I ain't gonna lie. I had a nice time. I walked around, talked to some vendors. I got this new comic book series from a of course a black creator. His name they are the comic book series is called Fiasco. And it's really a really good storyline. I'm not even gonna lie to you. It's a fantastic storyline. I'm sitting here reading it and I'm like, yo, like, all right, so now we're seeing a black kid. Like um the first cover of the comics is, the kid's in looks like he's in street clothes with a mugshot. One of the mugshots is in street clothes, the other mugshot he's in, graduation attire. And the first three books are him, channeling this new superpower he has and dealing with a complete big consequence that it seems like most superheroes don't really go through. Like, the collateral damage of what might happen. Like when Superman and Zod fought each other in the middle of Metropolis. Like that was probably the first time there was actual like extenuating consequences to it. But in most comic books, there isn't. Oh man, they're going to destroy a couple buildings. Boom. This one actually, like, yo, you're learning your new powers, and boom, you do something bad with them. Not purposely, but you did something bad, and now you have to deal with the consequences of that. And it's a very good, like, the like it's a family thing. That's what's cool about this comic. And also they made a short film out of it. Like they did, wow, they did a lot in a very short time span, and that's pretty cool to me. I really I'm excited to see what more they got for it. You know, the drawings were amazing. This just like I said, the storylines were great. But it's called Fiasco. So if you guys get a chance, go look, I think it's Fiasco Verse on Instagram, and then they have their website and everything on there. But I got a 25, they gave out a box bundle with the first three, I think it was stickers and keychain, like and a wristband. So I mean, like, they sold me. They sold me on a pretty good, on a very good product. You know. All right, and I also got to go. If you guys don't know, I've joined in on this podcast a few times. It's called Comicast. I joined in a few times when either one of the hosts were out, or they just they needed another, fresh voice sometimes. And I went to go see them live. What's that, Saturday night? They were the last show on Saturday night. I went there, go check it out. It was a very good show. They had a very good showing too. It was a lot of they I think they gained some new fans and everything like that. Like, it was like these three kids that stayed after and went and talked to them. To me, the chemistry is fantastic. Even when four of them, and it's kind of interchangeable, four of them, I think the chemistry it's a very good chemistry. You can tell that they're actually really good friends with each other. I stood there and talked to them for a couple minutes. And, hey, they had the same thought process that I had about the boys. By the way, like, I thought Hero Gasm was gonna be like this big, like, fest of nastiness and craziness, because it was like, this is not suitable for any audience. And I'm sitting here watching it, and I'm just like, yo, this isn't even the worst shit I've seen on The Boys. Like, this is even like maybe top five worst shit. Like, a dude literally ran through a girl. Like, he ran through her high on the what's the V, compound V. He was high on that, and he ran through a human. And that's the first scene that we get from The Boys. And then we had another guy, sorry, spoiler alert, but also nasty alert. You might want to cover your ears or avert your eyes. A guy shrank down to very, very, very small, and went inside of another guy's unit and sneezed. Um and the guy instantly evaporated. That was the first 15 minutes. That was within the first 15 minutes of this season. That's, like I said, Herogasm. If you guys read the comic, if you guys read the comic, it wouldn't, some storylines of the boys right now wouldn't make sense with the comic. But TV has its own thing where they gotta build drama in different ways. There are tropes with TV where, oh man, suddenly, this guy's dad, estranged dad or whatever. And it was just like, all right, well, that's where we're at now with TV. I guess they're just gonna change all storylines. This doesn't fucking make any sense. But but they had the same, but like I was saying, some of the hosts will had the same process. Like, yo, that was kind of like, oh, he said off the rip, that was kind of mid, huh? I was like, in my mind, I was like, nah, I thought it wasn't a bad episode. I would say, the way they built it up, I think the build up in the advertisement and the marketing, they did a fantastic job doing that. And then I think they hyped it up so much, and all this other shit happened. I think that, and like, I'm not trying to, I don't think I'm trying to steal his thoughts, but at the same time, I was like, yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. Um, One of the hosts, he said that Jong, his name is Jong, he said that, I think we got desensitized. Damn, this words, why am I fucking up words today? This is bad. Desensitized to, like, the raunchiness, the blood, the gore, all that from the boys. I think that's what happened. And so when we got to Herogasm, it was just like, all right. I mean, I think we saw worse. I mean, the dude made an ice dildo. I mean, that was kind of, and then Mother's Milk got exploded on by another dude, but that wasn't his fault. And then he had well, I think it did. But we're sitting here and we're like, but I felt like we seen maybe worse. Like, that was probably the worst thing we saw. Also, that we found out that Homelander will fold the whole, it will fold anyone. It pretty much is where we're at with him. He's just going to be able to fold anybody. like it it doesn't matter. You can be juiced up on the 24V. You can be, juiced up by the Russians. It doesn't matter. Or, whatever. It can be three of y'all, it can be two of y'all. No matter what, you're getting the hands from Homelander. And that's what was kind of crazy. It seems like the difference between Homelander and Superman is that Superman has that glaring weakness where he has kryptonite. Kryptonite can weaken him. Homelander, we still don't know what weakens Homelander. Like, we still don't know what his Achilles heel is. There's only, for real, the only Achilles heel that he has that doesn't physically hurt him is public perception of him. He doesn't give a shit. Other than that, it's like, all right, whatever. Like, if the public hates him, he's like, fuck, man. Like, that bothers him. But it doesn't matter because he can kill anybody anytime. And he's showing this. This is what happens if Superman figured out his own thing. Like, I could take this shit over. Like, we've seen this in Injustice. I could just take this shit over. I really want to. Okay, I went into a little bit of boys talk while talking about Comicpalooza. My fault, y'all. My bad. All right. All right. We're gonna walk away from that. We're walking away. We're walking away. Okay. But Comicpalooza, day two, I walked around again, saw a few things. This time my mom came, so we went. Pretty much went to the car show, and then we went to a podcast panel that they had. It was a mashup of podcasts, talking about the state of the MCU right now, and I agreed. I'm trying to think how I want to put this. Some of the people, I think, were trying to do some things out of like shock value, try to see if they can get some shocking. Oh, what? I think some people also came in a little bit combative. It's supposed to be a debate on, or really a discussion about where you think the MCU is going and what do you think so far of like the Disney Plus shows and things like that. And I think that people have become impatient with the MCU. This is my state of the MCU. I think that people want everything so quickly to happen. Like, oh man, who's the big bad? I, they're slow playing it, but they do need to figure out who the big bad this time is. Because at least in the first phases, we saw Thanos in a couple of occasions, at least a few occasions. At least we knew it's building towards Thanos. Right now, it feels like we don't know exactly where it's building to, and I have no problem with that. And like I said, if you guys listened to the podcast before, I feel like the Disney Plus shows, which I think people are really losing the grip on what the Disney Plus shows are really should be about and what the purpose of the Disney Plus shows should be. They should be introducing new characters. They should. It shouldn't take a movie to introduce a new character. I think that Miss Marvel, all right, now we got her backstory. Now we got an 6 episodes, 8 episodes of her backstory, which was fucking great. I thought it was a great show, by the way. Loki, what's going on with him? Why are we dealing with the multiverse shit? That's the one show that did, kind of further. We might have King the Conqueror as the guy. WandaVision, it introduced Scarlet Witch, which was supposed to, that was his intended purposes. It also was supposed to bleed into Doctor Strange's Multiverse of Madness, which it did. Also, we got another character from this, which is Agatha Harkness, which is white. Oh, actually, we got a few. Actually, yeah, damn, we got a few new characters. So we got 2 Young Avengers, which is Wiccan and Speed. We got Photon, which is one of Captain Marvel, part of Captain Marvel's, which is going to lead into the Marvels. Who else did we get? I'm sorry, my bad, y'all. We almost got Quicksilver. That was a nice little fake out. broke my heart. That fake out really broke my heart. Okay, so we got the first two shows are going towards phase four movies, and also phase four stuff. I think that we should get a Young Avengers maybe show, not a movie. We shouldn't make that a movie. I think we should probably get a show out of that. With just like we're probably going to get a show out of the Thunderbolts. That's what the Disney Plus shows. That's why we have She-Hulk. She-Hulk is going to be a show that introduces Jennifer Walters. This is what the Disney Plus show should be for. Is to introduce these characters. The movies should be the team ups and maybe like big characters like Thor, like which I'll get into soon. Um Thor, like I know everybody was like Black Widow should have came out 10 years ago, but if it came out 10 years ago, would we have Florence Pugh as Yelena? I don't think we have a Florence Pugh type character that plays Yelena. So it worked and it didn't work all at the same time, but you got a great character out of that. And guess what? Another Young Avenger out of that. We're getting, I think we're starting to get the assembly, whatever the fuck the word is, of the Young Avengers, which we're getting. We got Wicked Speed, we got Patriot, we got Yelena, and we also got Kate Bishop, and also Amadeus Cho has been talked about. Is he Hawkling or is just I think he's just Amadeus Cho. But we're there. We're getting towards this. I think that the MCU is doing the right thing right now. I think y'all worry about what happened the first 10 years and the culmination of those 10 years. And I think that we're only in year 2, 3, right? Since how long's Endgame been out? About 3 years. So we're in year 3. Yeah, maybe we should start getting towards. All right, yo, we're gonna get to oh my gosh, the King the Conqueror. But we're gonna get more King the Conqueror in Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantum Mania. Now, here's my only problem with this part is that if he's the main villain for that movie, then he's not the overarching villain. I think there's another one, in my opinion. If we're going galactic, I think that we probably should have Galactus as the main villain. Or really going no, but if we're going galactic, we should either have Galactus as it or Doctor Doom, which are two very viable, good overarching villains for an Avengers type event. I think that one of the panelists he said, these movies aren't fun anymore. I said, in my mind, I wish I was on that stage so I would have been like, what the fuck are you talking about? You did so it's like people didn't see Thor and didn't have fun watching. I had fun watching that movie. That was a great it wasn't the best Thor. I think Ragnarok was probably better, but Thor, this one really was fun to watch, had great action sequence for a guy that's really overpowered. He has the lightning ability, which is in every mythos, that is the strongest ability to have. It's Zeus, all that. Russell Crowe played the shit out of Zeus. So when I'm sitting here listening, he's like, "Yeah, man, it's like once again, I think some people just said shit out of shock value. Like, I gave it a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10? What? You know, right now? Well, what else do you want? You got a good Thor movie. You got a very good Doctor Strange movie. The Disney Plus shows are trending up. I don't know what else you want. I think the problem is that MCU fans are really comic book fans are getting a little spoiled right now because back in the day we couldn't find a good one. And now these past, 10, 12 years, we've been getting some good ones. And now once you see a little bit of a dip, just a little bit, people pounce on it like it's nothing. Like the past 13 years didn't mean shit. Like they didn't earn a fuck up here and there. DC got to work on it. But here's the question I would have loved to pose is DC catching up to the MCU, not because of quality of storyline or anything like that. Well, because of that too. But they are appealing to an audience that actually paid for the fucking movies. The ones that actually shell out money for the movies. Or is that where they're kind of, I think that's where their turn kind of went. Like, yeah, Marvel has had their dark tones, which is, the Thor Love and Thunder. I On the real, and I know everybody's been like talking up Christian Bale, being like, oh man, this is what like a top. I think this is recency bias, but Christian Bale, in my opinion, I'm sorry, Gore the God Butcher, first of all, didn't have enough screen time. So you can't exactly say, to me, he was one of the best villains of all time. His villainy made sense. It made us sympathetic to the character. But in my opinion, he's barely top 5 in MCU villains. Like, if we're doing standalone movies, Killmonger definitely has a beat. You know, in my opinion, like it's a very, very wide margin between him and Killmonger. I think, and y'all can argue with me all you want. It's probably because I kind of connect with what Killmonger is saying, or I understand that. Like, all right, well, maybe you shouldn't just be walking around killing people. Yes, understandable. Don't get it twisted. You shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't just put the law into your own hands. It's kind of like a Punisher situation, but you can understand the pain that he was feeling and the anger and the vitriol that he felt towards Black Panther. Maybe not T'Challa, definitely to T'Chaka, but not to T'Challa. And you can feel it actually, just the Black Panther thing that he hated. And you can feel that. You can understand that. There was another one, man. Fuck. I'm trying to put like villains in my head right now. Like, of course, Thanos. Of course, Winter Soldier. That was actually, to me, that's probably one of the top 5 MCU movies is Captain America and Winter Soldier. Also, if we talk about for real, the Avengers themselves. But now, actually, in my opinion, Baron Zemo might have been a better villain than Gore because he actually succeeded into doing what he wanted, into doing the exact thing that he wanted. He broke up the Avengers. Not only did he break up the Avengers for Civil War, but he broke up the Avengers for Infinity War. They were still broken. They were still a fractured fucking team. They still were on, like Captain America and Black Widow and all of them were still on the run because of the Sokovian deals. Accords. I'm sorry, Sokovian Accords. So I don't know. Like Gordon, I feel like he should have been a much. I wish they showed more of what he did to most of the gods, like him actually doing it. I felt like we didn't get to see enough about him for me to be like, oh yeah, that was the best. That's a top 10 villain, right? I mean, that's a top 5 villain right there. I think he's the best. No, I can't say that. I can't. There's some things that maybe we haven't. Maybe I would love to have a discussion about it, but at the same time, that Thor Love and Thunder was lighthearted until we got to the actual fighting with Gore the God Butcher. And you kind of just, and when you say you didn't have fun watching these, I'm like, this shit was funny as shit. That's fun to me. I don't know what fun is for anybody else, but I wouldn't say that's a 5 out of 10. I say, like some of the people were saying, it's like an 8.5. I wouldn't even argue if somebody said 9. What really was a mid, like, if we just go past couple years, COVID years, we do the COVID years. What really was a bad movie? Like Black Widow sneakily was actually a really good fucking movie. The only problem with it was timing. That was the only problem with Black Widow, was the timing of Black Widow. But other than that, the Hawkeye series, to me, I thought was pretty good. I thought Captain America and Winter Soldier was a great show. I wouldn't say it was the best out of them, but it was a great show. If you ask me my top five, which they had it on the Comic Cast panel, um, my top, I'll give a top three. I would say this. It's going to sound crazy. I won't even do recency bias, but to tell y'all the truth, Moon Knight had to be number one. Loki is a very, very close number two. Captain America Winter Soldier, for me, was number three. I think there might be a tie. Nope, I can't do ties. I won't do a tie. I won't do it. I won't do it. You're right. I won't do it. Captain America Winter Soldier, number three for me. I enjoyed it. I like the villain. I like, the just the message and the Isaiah Bradley message too. You know, he said, "Yo, they sent me in there. They get hold on one second. Okay, I just had to make sure. How is it like, yo? I'm telling you. All right, what before I go back into my little thing, let me rant for a second. Yo, so I'm in the closet, right? Not like y'all know what I'm talking about. I do the podcast from the closet. I won't show you what the closet looks like because it looks like fucking mess. But I work in, I do this in the closet, and then like my room has been extremely hot. But it's crazy because it's extremely hot in here, right? And then if I open this door just a little bit, it's fucking cold. Now it's cold. What the fan hasn't been on, all that shit. Now it's cold as shit. Like I'm like, what? I can't win. I can't win. This is why I'm sick. This is why I get sick. Because there's shit like this. There's shit like that. No, I'm playing. But yeah, I truly think that Captain America and Winter Soldier was my number three. WandaVision, very close number four. This I would say this. What if I thought was going to be that was the one I was most looking forward to, and that's the one that kind of like I think I put it up on such a high pedestal because everybody was like, "Yo, man, the zombie episode is gonna be lit." Just like they did with Herogasm. Yo, man, the zombie episode is gonna be the best. Zombie, all right, cool. The zombie episode was like it wasn't even. It was a mid. It was a mid. I mean, it wasn't. It was a good episode, but the T'Challa being Star-Lord one was definitely to me was a 10 out of 10. I need to rewatch the Doctor Strange one. That's probably what the problem is. I don't know what it is. Like I even said this. Like the Doctor Strange movie was a good movie. Everybody's like, man, that was one of the greatest movies of all time. I'm like, maybe not saying that. I'm sorry, they weren't saying that, but I was like, I mean, it was good, and for people, this is why DC is on a lower pedestal than DC movies. I'm sorry, DC movies on a lower pedestal than Marvel movies because everybody wants this lighthearted, blow everything up, good fight scenes, but it's light. You can see shit. I know. You want to be able to physically be able to see shit, and the storylines aren't that much dark, but dark shit happens when they put a little lighter tone onto it or make you sympathetic to the people. DC, on the other hand, here's the problem. And although I know I keep making this fucking argument, but I'm going to continue to make this argument. DC comics have always been darker comics. I don't know where some of you, it's the MCU effect, but DC's like actual comic book shit is dark. It like motherfucking like Batman used to walk around with a gun and throw people off of fucking roofs. You know what I'm saying? Like the only lighthearted DC person was probably the Flash. By the way, if we're saying that's lighthearted, that man's family or mother was killed by Reverse Flash because he traveled back in time to kill her. And then started Flashpoint, which we get fuck man. Thomas Wayne as Batman, and I think the Martha Wayne as the Joker. Or yeah, she's the Joker. You know what I'm saying? Like this is where we're at. That's DC. So when people are getting upset because they were like, whoa, Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness, man, it was just such a dark tone, man. It was just that we literally just watched the same thing happen on Deadpool, where the X-Force We were all getting hyped. All right, we're getting the X Force. All right, here we go. We got Shatterstar. We got all right. Let's get it. The whole X Force gets killed. Sorry, this is a spoiler. I mean, Doctor Strange came out like 3 years ago. I mean, no, I'm sorry, it came out like a couple months ago. So this is gonna be a spoiler from Doctor Strange. But you go and we finally get the Illuminati, the MCU. I mean, the Marvel Illuminati. I'm sorry, just making sure everybody understands. We finally get them, and all of them are murked by Scarlet Witch. Which, if you ever read the comic House of M, you will fucking understand. And so when you sit around here and like people are into just the movies, which makes sense. I'm a comic book head, and I love, for example, never read any of the comics for the boys, and you go in there with fresh eyes, and that's what you think the story is. So with WandaVision, I mean, I'm sorry, with the multiverse of madness, and we talk about Scarlet Witch, she's really one of the strongest fucking mutants of all of them. She's an alpha fucking level mutant. Omega, I'm sorry. She's an Omega level mutant. That's her, Jean Grey, Richard Franklin Reed, you know, with Wolverine. I think Wolverine is an alpha level one too. So I mean, damn, I keep saying alpha, Omega level mutant. So most of the mutants, like at most X-Men, are able to probably murk off most of the fucking Avengers. Let's be real. The X-Men will fold the shit out of the Avengers. It doesn't matter. Except for maybe Hulk. Hulk is the only one that everybody will have a problem with. Everybody else can get worked. We saw that with Scarlet Witch and Doctor Strange. And so, yes, the storyline's dark because if you actually watched WandaVision, it's kind of going to be a dark storyline when you lose both your kids due to like her imagination leaving, practically her imagination being set to reality. So yo, what the fuck did you think was going to happen? She got possessed by a thing called the Darkhold. You know what I'm saying? Like, what else do you want? Not possessed. I don't think she was possessed. Sorry, my bad. I'm fucking this up. No, I'm really not, actually. But so yes, it's gonna be a dark storyline. To me, it was fun to watch because they finally used her to her full fucking potential, to the shit that she can actually is able to do. So in my opinion, I love where the MCU is going. You know, Loki, we got King the Conqueror. We finally got him at the end. You know, we got to see, all right, now we're going towards phase 4. Now we're starting to going to understand who King the Conqueror is. Now, is he going to be Reed? Which King the Conqueror are we going to get? Because we got a few of them. We got a few to play with. You know, there's a couple of them in different multiverses and everything like that. So my question is, which King will we get? Because we have a Fantastic Four movie coming out very soon, and we're about to get the cast probably revealed at D23 this year. And also, there's been also rumors that Chloe Bennett might be coming back as Quake. Secret Wars. That's really probably, you know where she might come back in the Nick Fury series. I don't know if they axed that yet. Might be wrong, but the Nick Fury series. You know, we also got Armored Wars coming up. You know, this is what Disney Plus series should fucking be doing. It's introducing us to new characters, giving backstories to characters that we've seen before, that we've seen in the movies, but now we're getting a little bit more of their backstory, a little bit more of their character when they're not around everyone else. We're not being overshadowed by Iron Man, Thor, Captain America. You know, that's what I like about the Disney Plus series. You know, Miss Marvel. Did we get anybody else tying in to Miss Marvel series? We did not. We just got straight up Miss Marvel learning her powers. We got Kamala learning her powers, even though they changed her fucking power set, but it's okay. Learning her powers, and then at the end we get a teaser to the Marvels. You know, so I just, you know, I think we just as comic book fans, as nerds, we just need to be more patient. if we're patient, we're going to get the result, baby. I understand y'all want it. Y'all want everything kind of like given to you right here now, things like that. Nah, man, calm down. We right there. We're good. We waited 10 years for Infinity War and Endgame. We waited that long. 20-something movies. Now they're mixing in TV shows. So now we're going to have a lot of shit going on. I think it's Secret Wars. I think Secret Wars is the big event coming up, which is very exciting. Now, we got a little bit of a teaser for the X Gene, which is fucking awesome. I also think that the next time we see Doctor Strange, we'll be going towards King the Conqueror too. But I really hope Kang is not the fucking main villain for the Ant-Man and the Wasp movie. I really hope not. I hope it's something else entirely. I hope like maybe he comes here and there, because I thought they were going to show him like almost every movie we see, but I think it's because the COVID thing, it kind of fucked everything up. Yes, I hope that doesn't fuck it up, man. I really, it's just whatever. I know the episode. So, yeah, man. Oh well, I was not expecting to talk that long about the state of the MCU, but in my opinion, I think we're in good hands. Kevin Feige knows what the fuck he's doing. I think James Gunn. I think the DC. I actually, to tell you the truth, I think the DCEU is in great hands right now too. I think they're starting to do a little bit of upward trend, because if they just take their fucking time and stay in your lane. Just stay in your lane. You're not Marvel. The only lighthearted movie you should have had was The Flash, but it looks like Ezra Miller. But like I said, man, I had an amazing time at Comicpalooza, man. I wish that I wish I was part of the podcast program. It sucks, but this is what it is, man. Like I said, all I can do is try again next year. All I can do is try again the year after, because I'm going to continue doing this motherfucking podcast. All right? You ain't stopping me, damn it. Hey, baby, you ain't stopping this train. There ain't no way you stopping this motherfucking train. No way. No, but, hey, and one of the fuck, man. Somebody noticed I was wearing Iversons. That's all I can say. I was very hyped about that. That's all I can say, man. David Ramon saw that I was wearing some. He said, "Yo, you wear some Iversons?" I was like, "Yeah, bro. I don't know what number I said Iverson ones, but these are clearly not fucking Iverson ones. I fucked that up. That's my fault. That's on me. Hey, look, I only know my sixes. All right, I'm not a sneakerhead. I wish I was, but the only ones I know is the sixes, because I used to hoop in the sixes all the time. That was my hooping sneakers. Those are my hooping sneakers, and Steve Francis black tops, which that's a whole nother episode, a whole nother thing. Yo, I should have my older brother on to talk about sneakers, because he knows them way better than I do. And he probably knows the sneakers that I had way better than I do. So at one point in life, we're going to have a sneaker discussion, because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. But with that said, big announcement. Tomorrow will be an episode, but the episode will be I'm rewatching Bleach for the 1,000 Years Blood War before we get the 1,000 Years Blood War. I'm going to try to rewatch Bleach all the way to the end and have a recap episode. I want to do every 5 episodes. So tomorrow will be episode 1 through 5. There's no numbers to them. It's just Bleach. So tomorrow I'm gonna try. It's gonna be called Bleach. Shit, what the fuck is going on? Since we don't have any days that start with a B, which makes 0 sense. We don't have any ones that start with an A. Hold on. We don't have any months that start with a B either, huh? Ugh. Well, what would you call? Okay, no, we're not doing this shit right now. We're not going to do that. But we're going to have a Bleach. I'm going to have a Bleach rewatch. That's going to be Bleach Tuesdays. All right. So every Tuesday, come tune in if you want to hear about Bleach. I was going to do Banshee because of Anthony Starr, and I feel like Banshee is like one of the most like underrated shows of all time that nobody talks about for some fucking reason. But it's literally one of the greatest shows of all time. But yeah, but I was like, fuck that. It's just too much work to even try to find where Banshee's at right now. So we're just doing Bleach. All right, first 5 episodes of Bleach because there is 300 and some odd episodes in the fucking series. So we are going to. This is going to be a trip. This is going to be a trucking. So Bleach 1 through 5. If we start to get a little bit behind, probably do 10 episodes, 10 episode recaps, but it's not going to be long recaps. Don't get it twisted. There will be spoilers, so I'm just letting you guys know now. Bleach Tuesdays will be spoilers to fucking Bleach. Each 5 episodes, I will be talking about Bleach. Okay? All right. I'm just letting everybody know now, so I don't get cussed out later. Y'all know how much I love Bleach. That's one of my favorite. That is my favorite anime of all time. I will continue to love that show. I just want to make everybody know. All right. So just letting you guys know one more time. Tuesday, I will be recapping the first 5 episodes of Bleach. Now, if you want to go watch it, it's only 20 minutes. So that's about an hour of your life. No, that's a little bit over an hour of your life. All right. So that's the first 5 episodes. All right. And they will be spoiler written fucking episodes that we'll be talking about. All right. So first 5 this Tuesday. Next 5 next Tuesday. And then we're going to continue on. Unless we need to do it 2 times a week because Bleach is 300 and fucking something episodes, which probably going to have to do a couple times per week. But I'm going to try to do it once a week for right now, see what happens. So with that, I would like to say thank you so much for listening to the Cruising Podcast, which wasn't at Comicpalooza for some reason. But hey, we're not going to be mad. We're not mad. No, listen. I know people probably think I'm hating right now. Listen, I completely understand. I am a one-man band, which makes sense. I am a one-man band, and it has to be. Yeah, I understand. I mean, like, there's probably bigger podcasts you can have in your program, and understandable. But who would have brought the fire? No, I'm playing. But seriously, man, congratulations to the people of Comicpalooza, and also all the podcasters out there that were able to be part of it, all the vendors, all the celebrities, all the volunteers, everyone. Thank you so much for putting on such a great event every fucking year. I know it has to be like nerve-wracking and time consuming and tiring and everything like that to just culminate into 3 fucking days. Think about it. It's only 3 days that out of the year that you do so much work for. So I'm completely happy. I'm completely it was very much exciting. I like one I'm gonna say one more thing. I don't know what's been going on. Fuck you, fucking bitch. Oh, I made it 42 minutes without having to put my leg up. So, one more thing, my bad. But I don't know what's been going on lately. It's been since like the thing happened, the pandemic. Last year I went on Sunday, and my energy was just like, nope, we're not doing this today, Andrew. This is it. Hey, you want energy? You won't have it. And I'm just sitting here, I'm walking around, I'm just like, fuck, yo, I'm like drained. Like I hate feeling like that. But I know when I start feeling like that, it's weird. And this time I went on like Saturday, I was straight. I went a little bit later on Saturday so I can make it to the podcast to watch. And then I went and I was fine. I took a couple. Of course, I drank some energy drinks because I'm fucking crazy. But Sunday, I just like felt very drained. Like when I got there, it was the weirdest thing. It's been weird. Like maybe because my Sundays are now Sundays, and I go to work the next day. But I still think it's kind of weird. Like, damn, man, I have no energy. It's the weirdest thing. I never encountered that before. So yeah, but overall still I had a great time. I had a great time, and I walked around, saw a lot of things, saw a lot of cosplayers, and a lot of asses were out. I'm just letting you know, there's a lot of cheeks. I'm not gonna lie to you, there's a lot of cheeks. Some of y'all, had some flapjacks, but a lot of cakes out there. I'm just putting it out there. It was I was looking, is all I was doing. Just looked, I was like, oh shit. No, I'm joking. But no, for real, like I don't like this kind of weird because there's a lot of kids walking around. It's a lot of kids walking around. You got your I mean, I understand that's cosplaying, but I still think it's a little Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It's a little weird. Like it might sound like I'm hopefully it doesn't sound like I'm a creep or anything, but it's just like wow, like if some dudes start walking around with their shirts off and everything like that and having people touch them, I'm just like, damn man, this is interesting, man. I don't know. I see. I can't do cosplaying because first of all, that those some of their costumes seem like it'd be too fucking hot. Other one seems a little too skimpy for me walking around a lot of children. I don't know. I don't like that. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I felt like it was it, but do your thing. Well, don't do your thing. Hopefully, you don't do that thing. But if you feel, I don't. Maybe maybe it's just me not feeling comfortable with myself. With wearing certain costumes and shit like that because my black ass, man, either A, I'll pass out from heat exhaustion, or B, I'm just nipples. No, I'm playing. But nah. But overall, man, like the cosplaying is that it's A1 though, man. Like some people just look exactly like some of the characters, and that was amazing all in itself. So with that, I would like to say thank you so much for listening to the Cruising Podcast. I am your host, Andrew Cruz, and where you can find the Cruising Podcast is on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Patreon, and YouTube, and anywhere else you can find your podcast news. You can find the Cruising Podcast. Also, you can find latest updates to the show is on Instagram at Cruising Podcast, also on Twitter at Nicetown Finance. And with that, I'll catch you guys tomorrow for Bleach Tuesday. Bleach Tuesday. Okay, sorry. All right, with that, catch you guys later. Deuces.